So the meditation we're going to do today, we used to do quite a bit a couple of years ago. We haven't done it for a while. Part of the Discovering Buddhism program. Mary, could you make sure everyone's muted? Thank you. And it's called it's continuity of consciousness. But we've been doing quite a bit of, the death process and dissolution and dissolving ourselves into light. So and thinking a little bit about impermanence. So I thought this meditation might fit nicely with that because we tend to think about just we don't think about what our consciousness is doing or what our continuum is doing or where it's going, where it's even come from. So I think we just do a little bit of meditation around that and just see how you like it. Okay. So let's just settle into a nice, comfortable seated posture. There we go. I want to see all of you guys. And, if you wish, you can put yourselves on gallery and then you can just get this idea of meditating with everybody else. Otherwise, all you're going to see is my whole face for the meditation. All right. So you can have maybe both feet flat on the floor if you're not sitting in the regular cross-legged position. Really get a sense of the feet, the weight of the feet on the floor, and the soles of the foot, the side of the foot, and the big toe mound and the little toe mound, and all of your toe pads. And feel the weight of your back of your legs on the chair, the sits bones on the chair. The weight of your hands in your lap, shoulders are aligned with the hips. And your ears are aligned with your shoulders. And imagine your spine is just this beautiful string of pearls of light. And it's running from the coccyx right at the base of the spine all the way up through the crown of the head. And imagine you're putting space in between all of your vertebrae. And then just relax the crown of the head and the scalp and the forehead and the eyebrows, the eyelashes, maybe even your eyelids, the back of the eye, and the nose. Just release any tension around your cheeks, your nostrils, the mouth, back of the tongue, the jaw, your ears, the inner ear, the back of the head, the neck, and allow your shoulders and shoulder blades to drop down. Relax the throat, the chest, the belly, and all of your limbs. And feel the weight of your hands in your lap. And be aware of any sound in your environment, any smells, and just allow all of that external sensory information just to be there. Try not to investigate. And you might even think if you can smell coffee or breakfast. Oh, I'll get to that. I'm coming. That's waiting for me at the end of the meditation. Try and stay present. And now bring to mind all the people of your life. Loved ones, ones you don't like, ones you find irritating. Then there's those strangers, keeping in mind that these relationships are interchangeable. And regardless, they're all equal, just like you, me, because we've all got this desire to be happy to look for comfort. In Terminal 1 or Terminal 3, sorry, in Canada, when we were leaving Toronto, when I was leaving, there was about 50 people looking for comfort at the Starbucks at like 7:30 in the morning. And that was their way of finding happiness. So we all do it, and then we all try and avoid suffering. And for some people, suffering when you're traveling is sitting on the plane for half an hour waiting for everybody else in front of you to get off. So in order to make themselves comfortable, they book their seat as far forward as possible. So everybody does all kinds of things to make themselves happy, to make themselves comfortable, and to try and avoid suffering. And all of these people are equal in their wish to be, in their extraordinary capacity for Buddhahood. Excuse me. So I think we'll do this meditation on, the continuity of consciousness for all these people of our life, and by extension, all sentient beings. So now we'll get to our mind. So just notice, check in with yourself this morning. How are you doing this morning, this afternoon, this evening? And try and put some space in between those thoughts. Just watch the activity there in your mind. Watch the flow of the thoughts, the emotions, the sensations, judgments, projections, and expectations. Watch your own stories. And all the time when you're watching, just be curious. So you take a step back and be also objective about what you're looking at. And try not to get all involved, but just see. Just watch the mental events with objectivity, without criticism. You might watch yourself getting drawn to some thoughts and pushing away others. But just watch your mind for a moment, like a very neutral scientific observer who's got no investment in the objects of observation. Just watching the process. Now, at some point, catch one of these mind moments, one of these stories, and from that point, begin to journey backwards in time from one mental event to the previous one. And briefly scan your mental experiences, traveling backwards through the last hour. For those of us on the West Coast, maybe we've just got up and made tea or coffee or something. Some of you a little bit ahead of us in time, you've maybe had breakfast already. For those of you, it's evening or afternoon. Maybe you've had lunch. Start to move back through your day. And then come back to the moment of your waking. So for those of you in a different time zone than Pacific, catch yourselves up to breakfast, to the moment that you woke up on the day of the morning or of the morning of the day where you are right now. And is there a relationship between one moment and the previous one or the one before that? Did you notice a connection? Maybe take your mind back to any dreams that you might remember. Back to the night before. Perhaps you were thinking something before you went to sleep. Perhaps you were watching something. Maybe you were doing some recitation of prayers or meditation. Maybe you did some yoga or stretching. Is there a connection between what you were doing and thinking before you went to sleep and your dreams? Can you see a relationship between the mental events? And take your mind back through yesterday in reverse order, just back through yesterday. Then the day before yesterday, than last week. And last month. Last year, 2024. And try not to engage with the story that might be unfolding. Simply watch without any involvement, without any judgment. You're just looking for connections. So start going back as far as possible in your life, watching the mental events of your youth, your childhood, your infancy, and perhaps even your birth. So also bear in mind, we're not doing any regression therapy here. We're just merely watching the mind. We're not going into the kind of emotions. So if you can go back to your birth, what happens then in the womb? At the moment of your conception. Try to see the possibilities. Does the flow cease? Does it continue? So just relax and allow each mental event to arise in its own time, and just observe the process at work. And when you've gone back as far as possible, just gently return to the present moment. Watching the activity of the mind. Observe these arising mental events without any criticism of any kind, without any attraction or rejection of the thoughts in your mind. You're just looking for connections here. So one thought arises in your mind, it leads you down one track, then you start to follow it. And just notice that perhaps you have a choice about which path to go down. So now imagine your mind stream flowing out before you. One thought and then the next, into the future. Let your imagination go. Watch the possibilities for the future, your mind flowing out into the rest of the day, into tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, next decade. Where will you likely be in 2029, 2035? So then comes a point where our physical body will no longer be able to sustain itself here on planet Earth. So consider the possibilities for your mind at this point. Does the flow cease? Does it stop? Does your continuum keep on going? Does it change? What happens now? Consider the possibilities. So just meditate on this for the next 3 minutes. So once again, bring yourself back to settle in the present moment. Feel the weight of the feet on the floor, the sits bones in the chair, the hands in your lap. And bring to mind the motivation that you had at the beginning of the meditation, or maybe even your intention before you came and sat down. And just dedicate any understanding or any insight, any creative or spiritual energy you've generated doing this meditation to the realization of your own goals, to taking this next step on your own spiritual journey for your own sake and for the sake of all those people in your life. Okay, everybody. Mary, thank you very much for hosting. Lots of love, everybody. And I look forward to seeing some of you this evening at Vajrasattva. Okay. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank
Thanks.
you.